To caramelize sugar, turn on your heat to about medium heat, right about there, and then pour a cup of sugar into a saucepan and wait. I've just shaken it a little bit so that it's a little evenly distributed. And watch, this is going to take a little bit of time, but there's nothing scary and nothing terribly difficult about it. As sugar caramelizes, what that is, it's a fancy way to say melt and eventually burn the sugar. The sound that you hear in the background is the tea kettle with water warming up. It has absolutely nothing to do with what we're doing in the sugar. It's just being heated up because I'll use it later on for a different part of this dish. Can you see in the margins, in the corners, how the sugar is starting to melt? I think that the heat is a little high, so I'm going to lower it just a little bit. To about, okay, a little bit lower. Okay, now I'm not using anything to stir it. I'm just whipping it around with my hand. The texture of the sugar starts to change just a little bit as it starts to get wet. I have not poured any liquid into this at all. All of the moisture comes from the sugar itself. Now you'll notice that all I'm doing is stirring it with a nice little shake. And I'm actually even using my left hand. I'm not left-handed. Yikes, that's kind of scary. You can see that the bottom of the sugar has melted and is already starting to turn a little bit brown. I'm continuing to stir it. This needs to be attended all the time. You cannot leave this unattended on the stove, because sugar has a higher melting temperature than water, so it's really, really hot in there. Again, I've got this on medium heat, giving it a nice little stir. You can see to the right bottom side that the sugar is even starting to just produce liquid. And it's starting to look like a really great color. Moving it around so that the heat is going all over the sugar. We've got maybe another minute to go. I hope my memory doesn't drain. Alright, so now that it's mostly liquid, I'm going to stir it pretty continuously. It's a nice brown. This is like a light amber. I like it pretty dark. So we're going to wait just a little bit more. It is smoking just a little bit. Don't be afraid of that. Just continue to stir it. Parts of the sugar are bubbling. Not a lot though, because I don't want it all to do that, and because there's still some solid parts of sugar that hasn't been totally melted inside. The sugar is more and more clear as the remnants of the dry sugar are turning into, you know, this beautiful brownness that's lovely. Okay, you can see that it's like basically nearly done caramelizing. I'm going to wait until it's getting darker and darker. It's really starting to bubble up now. It's starting to smoke. And this is the point at which I stop. Now, I take it off the heat. So I turn off the heat, and then I'm going to pour it into my mold. I move it around some.